This building sat abandoned for over a decade on the Las Vegas Strip. A massive blue tower that cost nearly $3 billion to build and opened exactly 0 times during those 13 years. The Fontainebleau Las Vegas might be the most cursed project in Vegas history. And even though it finally opened in December 2023, the curse might not be over yet. This is the story of how one of the biggest casino projects ever conceived became Vegas's most expensive ghost building. In 2005, Vegas was unstoppable. The city was printing money. Every new casino that opened on the Strip became an instant gold mine. Real estate developers couldn't build fast enough. That's when Fontainebleau Resorts announced something massive: a 68-story, 3,000-room mega resort on the north end of the Strip. The same company behind the iconic Fontainebleau Miami Beach was bringing their luxury brand to Vegas. The design was ambitious: a swooping blue glass tower that would dwarf everything around it, 3,000 hotel rooms, a massive casino floor, convention space, high-end retail, everything you'd expect from a Strip mega resort. Construction began in 2007. The price tag? $2.9 billion. At the time, it was the largest privately financed construction project in the United States. Everyone wanted a piece of this. Celebrity chefs signed on. Nightclub operators lined up. Retail brands competed for space. This wasn't just going to be another casino. This was going to redefine luxury on the Strip. The opening was scheduled for late 2009. Fontainebleau was selling itself as the next evolution of Vegas, more sophisticated, more elegant, the kind of place that would make Bellagio look outdated. Workers swarmed the site 24/7. The tower rose fast. By 2008, the structure was nearly complete. The iconic blue glass facade was going up. From the outside, it looked like everything was on schedule. But behind the scenes, something was very, very wrong. September 2008, Lehman Brothers collapsed. The global financial system started crumbling, and Vegas? Vegas got absolutely destroyed. Tourism dropped off a cliff, casino revenues plummeted, projects across the Strip started shutting down. The Cosmopolitan, Echelon, Harmon. One by one, megaresort projects either stopped or slowed to a crawl. Fontainebleau was nearly 70% complete, but completion didn't matter when the money dried up. The developers had borrowed billions, and suddenly no bank wanted to extend more credit. June 2009. Construction stopped, just like that. Hundreds of workers were laid off. Equipment sat idle. The building was so close to being finished, but without funding, there was nothing they could do. 2 months later, Fontainebleau Resorts filed for bankruptcy. The company had run out of money with the resort 90% complete. They'd spent $2.7 billion and had nothing to show for it. The building just sat there, empty, unfinished. A massive blue tower on the North Strip that nobody knew what to do with. In 2010, the property was sold at bankruptcy auction. Carl Icahn, the billionaire investor, bought it for $150 million. Let that sink in. A project that cost $2.7 billion to build sold for $150 million. Icahn had no intention of finishing it as a casino. He stripped the property for parts, furniture, fixtures, equipment. Anything valuable was sold off. He made a profit flipping the materials alone. Then he flipped the entire building. In 2017, he sold it to Stephen Witkoff for $600 million. Still a massive discount, but Witkoff actually wanted to finish the project. For over a decade, the Fontainebleau became a landmark for all the wrong reasons. It was Vegas's biggest embarrassment, a constant reminder of the recession. Every time you drove up the Strip, there it was. This massive, empty tower looming over everything. Urban explorers tried to sneak in. Photographers captured eerie images of the abandoned interior. The building became famous on Reddit and YouTube as one of the largest abandoned structures in America. Local news ran stories every few years asking the same question: Will this ever open? The answer always seemed to be no. Even when Witkoff took over, finishing the project seemed impossible. The building had been sitting empty for 8 years. Systems had deteriorated. Design plans were outdated. Nothing met current code anymore. They basically had to strip everything down and rebuild the interior from scratch. Original contracts and agreements from 2007 were useless. Every vendor and partner from the original project was long gone, and the location was cursed. The north end of the Strip had become a dead zone. Circus was struggling. The Sahara had closed and reopened as the Strat, but never recovered its former glory. Why would anyone build a luxury property here? Just when progress finally seemed real, COVID hit. 2020 shut down Vegas completely. Construction halted again. The Fontainebleau curse struck once more. But Witkoff pushed through. New financing, new partners, new timeline. They brought in major brands like LPM Restaurant and Poodle Room, convinced high-end retailers to sign leases, built hype through social media. December 2023 was set as the opening date. After 16 years, the Fontainebleau would finally open its doors. December 13th, 2023. The Fontainebleau Las Vegas officially opened. Fireworks, celebrities, massive parties. It was a huge moment for Vegas. The property is stunning. The rooms are gorgeous. The casino floor is massive. The restaurants are high-end. Everything looks exactly like what they promised back in 2007. Initial reviews were positive. Guests loved the modern design, the luxury feel, the fact that everything was brand new in a city where most properties are decades old. Here's the problem. The Fontainebleau opened with one major disadvantage: location. It's at the far north end of the Strip, past the Wynn, past the Encore, in an area where foot traffic basically doesn't exist. You're not walking to Fontainebleau from anywhere else on the Strip. You have to specifically choose to go there. And the competition is brutal. You've got the Wynn and Encore right down the street, two of the most successful luxury properties in Vegas. You've got Resorts World, which is newer and has better Strip access. You've got Caesars, Bellagio, Aria, Cosmopolitan, all fighting for the same luxury customer. Early reports suggest the Fontainebleau is struggling to fill rooms on weekdays. Room rates have dropped significantly from opening week. The casino floor isn't as busy as projected. This is the curse nobody talks about. It doesn't matter how beautiful your property is if nobody walks through the door. And the North Strip location is a massive liability. Vegas insiders are already whispering. Some think Fontainebleau will struggle to break even for years. Others think it'll get sold again within 5 years, just like before. The building finally opened. But the question everyone's asking is, can it actually survive?